Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, the 3rd of July. We are back into our lives. I had a little bit of a personal thing I had going on, and then I was sick for 2 weeks. And so finally we are back into it. So hopefully everyone is finding me again. I know it's been a little while. And then before that I was on holiday. So I got a 1 week in, and then I had to take off another 2 weeks. So I don't know. Anyway, we are back, and it is hello, Wendy. How you going? I've missed Lynn's comment. I don't know. Hopefully I've got all of the comments coming in, but hello. My name is Alisa Tilsner. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia and go live Thursday mornings. I'm going to say every Thursday morning because we are back into them now. So today we are going to be playing with a brand new stamp set, and that has just dropped at the start of this month. So Perfectly Pears. It is part of a bigger suite, but I also have a 31-day challenge going on in one of, oh, thank you. I've got new glasses too. I had new ones. I'm digressing. I'm sorry. I had new ones, and I couldn't see my iPad properly, and I couldn't see the computer properly because they were multifocals. So I went back and she said, we've got a pair of computer glasses and I can see everything. And I'm pretty well wearing these everywhere. So I don't know whether they're just a bifocal thing, but I tell you what, it's nice to go down the street and be able to see what's going on down there. Anyway, so I'm digressing. We are going to be playing with the Perfectly Pears. It does come with a bigger suite, but I am doing a 31-day challenge over in my Facebook group, and you are welcome to come along and join with us. It's a back to creating one, and every day there is a prompt. So today's prompt is just using stamps, ink, and paper. So no dies, no embellishments. I can have a sentiment. Our first day's challenge was like make a card with no sentiments. Oh, that was hard. So today's is a SIP challenge, stamps, ink, and paper. Doesn't say anything about I have to use one layer. I can use layers. So we're going to play with that one. And I've got a technique for you today. So good morning, everyone. Morning, Tracy, Lynn, Deborah, Brenda. Hello, Kathleen, Katrina. Hello. Okay, let's have a quick look at, well, I should switch this camera around, right? There we go. So let's have a quick look at this. I've got nearly all of the suite. I don't have the ribbon. I tend not to use a lot of ribbon these days. So if it's got twine, I'll use the twine, but I don't tend to use a lot of ribbon these days. I should get back into it. Okay, so we have got, whoops, I'm clicking things on my iPad. I shouldn't be. So it is a 2-step stamping. So you can stamp the outline and then stamp the second one inside this one, and it gives a really nice watercolor look to it. So, but today I'll just be using the open line ones to have a little bit of a play. You know what? I've just figured out what these are. I was looking at them and I'm going, what stamps? Because I've not played with these. I just actually pulled them off and stuck them in here first thing this morning. And I was like, what are these things? Thinking that they were just textures, but I've just realized now that the centers of the flowers. But we do have a nice little texture one, which could go, you know how sometimes pears get a little bit of that lumpy bumpy stuff on it, so you could do a little bit of texture on the pears if you wanted to as well, or you could just use them for around the edges in your card making. Okay, so dies, I won't be using these today because I'm not allowed to as part of my challenge. So we've got dies that will cut the outlines of the stamps, and then we've got some little flowers. We've got a little banner for the sentiments, which I won't be able to use today. We've got this gorgeous little texture crosshatch type of die, and some more flowers, and then we have a leafy image as well, which is quite nice. Oh, there's another little one. Okay, put them away. I won't be able to use them. The embellishments for these ones are called the low profile sparkle dots, and they are definitely a low profile. They're quite flat, and they definitely have, I don't know whether a camera's picking that up, they've definitely got lots of glittery, sparkly stuff going on. So there's, I'm assuming that is Darling Duckling, Mossy Meadow, and Misty Moonlight. I think we'll get the colors shortly. Hey, we've got some more people. Sharon and Renee, welcome. So colors are Darling Duckling, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Petal Pink. Oh, Secret Sea. That's probably the color of it. And Basic Beige. This paper is to die for. If you're not really into fruit, I think this might change your mind, because check these out. I'm going to try and do it this way so you can see properly. They are stunning. And the B side, I often love the B side a lot more than, sometimes I find these too busy for my tastes, but I do absolutely love the B side. So we've got one that's got around the edges, perfect for your scrapbooking if you wanted to use this as your base page. Petal pink pattern on the other side, and the dies will cut all of these out as well. So even if you just wanted to get the paper and the dies and you didn't want to, of course you can fussy cut, but they will cut all of these images out as well. And look at the B side, beautiful. Oh, look at that, stunning. I gotta bring this one up really close. Look at that. Look at all those colors, and look at that pear that's got a little bit of pink and brown in it. Gorgeous. And more yellow. We might use that one today, I'm not sure. And that's stunning as well. Check out the artwork in there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's stunning paper, isn't it, Brenda? We got more. Oh wait, oh, is that the same? Oh yep, duh. We've got a little bit of fluff. And this one is really pretty too. Have a look at that. Gorgeous. It's almost like that glowing. And the B side on that is, oh, maybe I'll use that one today. I'm not sure. I had an idea in my head this morning of a layout, and I'm thinking that I might actually change that. So we shall see. So that's and there is ribbon. There is a mossy meadow, and I do believe it's a shimmery kind of ribbon. So, but like I said, I didn't get the ribbon. So, okay. I'm going to use Lemon Lolly. We are going to be doing a watercoloring type of technique, and I really, really wish that I could zoom in on here, but I can't. But I was going to put a little bit of designer series paper down here and then put my pear, and that was going to be it. But I'm thinking that I might actually make this panel a little bit smaller and then just double layer that, and then do a full size layer of paper and then pop it on there. So it'll probably be a pretty basic layering card, but because I'm doing this technique, I sort of want it to stand out instead of you know, but I don't want it to get swallowed up by too much space, if you know what I mean. So I haven't used these before. I'm just giving it a rub on my hand just to try and remove anything that may be on that photopolymer. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't take the ink very well. So I'm going to start by white embossing. We did this in our team meeting earlier this week. So I need you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp it in the corner down here, and then I can trim my card down if I choose to, well, go that way, which I'm probably going to go that way. So let's ink this up, and I'm going to try and be clever and ink and put the stalk on there as well. I don't know how I'll go with that. Actually, I should put a little bit of, right, which way do you go? Don't mind me, I talk to myself regularly. Don't we all though when we craft? I hope you do. Okay, so, and I can barely see what I'm doing, but I can just see there's a tiny little gap in that in the top of the pear. So I hope I've lined that up properly. We'll soon find out when I put this powder on, won't we? All right, let's get this done. So now you can use any coloured cardstock for this, dark cardstock, light cardstock. I actually had this technique published way back when we had, whoops, when we had scrapbooking and card making. Whoops, I did it again. I flicked it everywhere. We had the card making and stamping magazine. I can't remember the title of it. Anyway, I had this technique published. Geez, I'm making a mess with my powder. It's going to be grit everywhere. We had years and years and years ago, we had a beautiful big dove die, and it had a stamp in the doves, and the dove had like all these flowers on its underbelly. It was so pretty. And so anyway, I did that, and I did it in crumb cake. and then had like painted the flowers in rose red and probably garden olive, I would say. They were my pink and greens back then. Deborah says she talks to herself but then worries when she answers. You know what is really funny? I'll often hear my husband, we have a room under our house which is just a storage room, and I'll often hear him clunking around down under there talking to himself. So funny. I never know whether he's muttering about me under his breath or whether he's just having conversations. Okay, so white emboss on your coloured card. Okay, just let that sit for a bit. Now we're going to paint it initially with some Whisper White. I've got to wipe this down. It is so gritty. With some Whisper White craft ink. All right, how much? Yep, look how much grit I got on there. Shocking. You can feel it, you can't see it. Okay, now I've got two of these aqua painters. One I keep for working with white, because white is such a thicker ink. It's actually clogged, like it sucks back up into the little barrel thing in here, and it's actually blocked, so I need to soak that in some hot water or something. So when I actually squeeze it, the water doesn't come down the nib, it comes out of the little twisty bit here. Whoops, I better be careful what I'm doing. Comes out of here and squirts down and runs down that way. So I really need to give that a good soaking or something. So I do keep one separate for working with white. It's almost just like a paintbrush now. Squeeze. We do want a fair bit of white ink to play with. So if you can't get enough white in your lid, just grab a re-inker and pop a drop in there. And we do want a reasonably dry brush, not a soaking wet one, because we want these layers to be fairly thick. Hey Sarah, how you going? And I've got another scrap here, and I'm just going to pop that under my finger because this mat is so cold, and I'm touching wood that I do not have any chilblains as yet, but I know that if I don't protect that finger, they will start coming. So I've been trying to do preventative maintenance for the chilblains, and I've been wearing rubber gloves when I do the dishes and trying not to get them soaking, like boiling hot water, and then because I've got freezing cold hands, and then if I go into hot water, I think that's when I get in trouble with them. Okay, so we're giving this a really good coat of white ink, and this is quite a large space compared to the images that I was playing with the other night. So this is where you definitely, if you've got too much water down, you'll end up with a thin coat, but we actually want a fairly thick. And the good thing is, because we're on coloured card and it has a bit of tooth, it can take a fair bit of like ink and water. Okay, so I'll bring this up to the screen in one moment. And then comes the fun part. How am I going to colour that? Okay, so you can see that that's just all coloured in white now. Excellent. Oh, getting ready for a job interview. Oh, that sounds exciting. Scary and exciting. Okay, so I'm just going to zap that again with the heat tool and just try and get that dry without dulling my embossing. That's all nice and shiny. You could also emboss it in a colour. It doesn't have to be white. You could do black or gold. Might have to play around. Okay, so that's a little bit more on the dry side now. Okay, so next what we want to do is come in with our coloured ink and pretty much paint over the top of it. So I've got the Darling Duckling, which is the colour that's in the Designer Series paper, and I've got Mossy Meadow and Old Olive, which are also colours. So I thought I might try and do like a yellow on one side, just sort of try and sort of half copy what they've done in the Designer Series paper, because I quite like that. So squeezing, if you squeeze quite firmly, you can get to transfer, but if you can't, just again, use a drop of Rinka. And again, we don't want this too wet, so we want a fairly dry brush. I do need to squeeze it a wee bit though, because I need to make a little bit of a watery puddle, but I don't want too much, because a little bit, well, when it might have been the image I was colouring the other day, a little bit went a long way. So I'm going to start over here and just sort of wiggle that around a little bit. So a little bit definitely goes a long way. And the great thing is that you can actually, I'm going to leave that open because I'll probably come back and have a little bit of a play with that. How much muck have I got in? This is still my original linen pad. Good old Olive. All right. And then I will come around, try and bleed that in. See, look how beautifully that bleeds together, because we're re-wetting that base underneath that white base. It sort of just, you can go back and blend that yellow in. All right, I'm going to leave a little bit of space on the edge. I'll bring this up to the screen and show you. Wipe off and come back in. And I will probably go a little bit darker again, but it sort of gives it quite a softer feel. I'm going to get in trouble with all these ink pads. I know I am. All right. Hello, Cindy. Bev said it's not as cold as it has been. Oh, yeah, but it's winter. That's true. The sun is shining brightly. Oh, it's nice. Actually, we have a really nice spot out the back. Well, I can't say our yard is nice, but because it's just being renovated for the last 20 years, 25 years. But anyway, I'm just going to bring that up. But the sun shines, the afternoon sun comes on there, and it actually gets really quite warm in winter. So it's usually a nice place for an afternoon cup of tea. So I'm just popping, whoops, I don't know what that noise was. There we go. So I've just got that going on, and I'm going to do my stems in, or my leaves. I need to grab a dark brown for, there we go. So I'm just going to leave those edges. I might come back in with some Old Olive on the tips, because the Old Olive is slightly brighter. Blend those two together. Oh, that looks good. So this is a very forgiving. Yes, Bev, you definitely need to try. It is pretty forgiving. I'm just going to grab a brown. I'm going to shift my daisy. I'm working on a daisy at the moment. Oh my gosh, it is so hard. Copper clay. Let's get some pecan pie, I think. Okay, give that a little bit of a squeeze. There's only a tiny little bit of stem going on here, but we'll... And I did paint that in white as well, so you could pop a little bit of pecan pie around the... Shall we try that, or do you think it will wreck it? Oh, that looks good. It just dirties it up a little bit, like a little bit of a base shadow going on. But because that white is underneath, everything is softened, and I'm starting to get a little bit of pilling right now, just to let you know. So I'll just give that, let that have, it's just a tiny little bit of pilling on the bottom there. So I just put a tiny little bit of brown, and the brown there will tie in with the brown up here as well. I might just give that a little zap, because I would like to put a little bit more yellow I think I would like to put a little bit more yellow or maybe a bit more green. Then I have to work out which of that designer series paper I'm going to use. I don't want to dry it too much because I do want to still be able to have it blending. Let's try. Just want to brighten some of these areas up just a wee bit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I like it. All right, let's do a little bit of, well, that's a bit strong. That's a bit strong going down. I don't know whether you can see that. So we'll wipe off the brush, and then we just got water moving around. I don't know, I should have picked it up and shown you how dark it actually was. Actually, I can probably do a little bit more. Don't mind me, I do this quite often with my colouring. It's always like, oh, I could do a bit more, I could do a little bit more, I could just, the thing is knowing when to stop. All right, just a little bit more, and these green feel a bit muted, and I guess depending on your card base color, you know, changes your outlook as well. Like, so definitely, this is definitely one to play with and do a whole heap of experimenting. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more of this yellow and pop it down here maybe. So I will show you my little practice piece from the other night. I didn't end up making a card out of it. So now this is dried up a little bit, so I'm just going to give it a tiny squeeze of water just to, my brush got a tiny bit too dry, and now I can spread that out a little bit more. And I think I am going to stop before I get myself into trouble. It's only got a really, really, really tiny amount of pilling, not enough that I would be worried about it. So you can, well, I mean, you saw how much I coloured on there, so you can actually get quite a bit going on. So quite like that, like the little brown on the bottom. That's probably where the most of the pilling is, down there on that bottom area. But I think that's quite nice. Okay, so I will probably end up trimming that down because I've got my card base here. Don't forget, I'm not allowed to use any dyes, I'm not allowed to use any embellishments, I'm not allowed to use anything. So who came up with these challenges? All right, I'm going to trim this down. I think I might do a full layer of designer series paper, trim this down, sponge around the outside of it, and perhaps I want this on the edge, and then perhaps double mount it, and then we'll go that way. Now, if you would like the instructions for this card, you can head on over to my website, which is not up on the screen at the moment, is www, I don't think we need to do them anymore, alisatilsner.com, and you can hit the subscribe button. You'll get my free color companion as well, and also the instructions to this card with all the measurements will go out in next week's newsletter as well. So, oh, you know what? They would look so pretty with them. No, not allowed to do that. All right, let's pick, before I go any further, because I do want to do a little bit of ink blending and that type of thing. But before we go any further, I might do some splattering of water as well. Let's pick a background. That's Secret Sea, so I didn't use any blue in that one. Didn't use any pink. You could use pink. So I've got that one. So you guys tell me. So I've got the old olive. I have got, I think anything like that would be way too busy. So I think we're definitely going for the B side. We've got the Darling Duckling, which will make us and it's got pink in the stripes. So we've got that. I think that I don't think it suits, or I think that one maybe. All right, so I think we're going to go for the greens. So we've got the darker green, or the old olive, or mossy meadow. So you guys pop your answers in. I am going to cut myself another piece of card for a double layer. To measure this, see what I came up with. All right. Oops. Don't mind me. I am just knocking my screen. Hopefully I didn't end myself. Completely closed everything down and hit everything. So I hope that I am still going. I can't see any chat comments now. Gee, I've really done it. So I'm hoping we are still going. I'm hoping so. My page closed. Everything closed. Well, that's really handy, just when I needed everyone to and it says not live. That says not going live. This says live. Oh yeah, I am still live. I just can't see the chats. Let's see if I can see chats here. Still going? Oh good. I've had a bit of an issue. Darker green, mossy meadow, old olive, mossy, old olive. Don't mind me, I'm standing up, so you can probably see my belly on the thing, because I don't know what's happened to my chat on my big screen has disappeared. But anyway, so I won't be able to see chats. I apologize, but let's go for the dark green. That'll teach me. I think I was putting my trimmer away and totally knocked it. All right, let's be careful this time. Do we have a pattern on the other side? Do I need to cut in a certain direction? All right, so let's get that way. Hopefully the comments will come back on my main screen, because now I'm missing everybody. I can't see. I feel like I'm talking to myself, even though I know you're all there. So let's go like that, and we'll go like that. And then I think I've got some Mossy Meadow card down here. I think our sentiment will be white embossed on Mossy Meadow card. That sounds good. I'll chuck that on the floor. All right. So I don't know. I can switch things around on my screen, but I don't know what I did. Overlay, no. Okay, whatever. Okay, don't play. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending, and I'm going to grab my Darling Duckling, and I'm just going to do it on this top layer. I might even do some splatters of I'm going to see if I've got a yellow. I don't think I've got a yellow in there. I know I've got a yellow behind me. Yellow. Probably got crushed curry all over it. That's okay. That's enough. I'll have to come back and have a look at all the comments afterwards. Okay, so wow, this is bright. Let's get some of this going around our edges. And that way this layer here will separate from the layer that's going to go underneath it, and probably tone it down a little bit because that is super bright. Oh, you know what I could do? Oh, I just had a thought. I'm going to come back and do that. Hang on just 2 seconds. Okay, I am going to just put a little bit of that pecan pie underneath that pear, just to ground it a little bit, I think. Now you can, if you want to keep it all in this beautiful muted subtle type of toning, you can put a little bit of white down first and then pop the pecan pie over the top, which is, I think I might do that actually, because I just want it fairly subtle, but I don't, it sort of looks like it's floating at the moment. So let's do that, and that'll be another little thing to show you as well. So I've got my white one. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of white just under the base here, spread it out, drag it down a little bit. I'll bring it up to the screen so you can see. And I'll keep you, maybe should I do flicking? I don't know. So there's, you can see I've just put the little bit of white underneath. Now that white is still a little bit on the wet side. So when I drag this through, it'll just be a real soft. And I want to just filter that out. I need to come up, right up onto the point of that, because I don't want it wide. I sort of want it to and right underneath here is where say if it's a tabletop or something, we've got our image, our object, I should say, not our image, our object sitting right on the tabletop, and it's always going to be the darkest right under where the object is sitting on the table, because there is no light getting in there. So if you can build up that little bit of color right underneath that base, it helps ground it. I will bring it up to the screen when I'm finished fluffing around with it, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, I'll bring that up, and then I'm going to just stand up again. So you see just underneath there, I've grounded it a little bit heavier, because objects that are obviously on the tabletop aren't going to have any light. Okay, so should I do, I'm standing up again, sorry, you can see my belly. Should I be doing some ink splatter over the top? I will, this is what I've got going on so far. Actually, I might put that to the, considering I can't do anything, I might put that to the side like that. So I'm going to do my sentiment, so you guys feel free to tell me in the comments. I will stand up and show you, check the comments. I'm just looking for, I've got all these pieces. I have a bad habit of, when I finish things, I just throw the scraps on the floor. So right beside me, I have got a pile of scraps that I've accumulated. I need to go through them. Okay, and I think I might do the thank you for this one. Thank you. Okay, I think that's you. Yes, it is. And they are only super little tiny ones, so that is good. It won't take up too much of my image. So let's just white emboss this guy again. Rub it. Yes, ink splatter. Ink splatter. It'll only be on this one here. Okay, so always like splatter. Yeah, I think so. Let's do some white splatter. Let's get this done first, and then I'll come back to that. We can double check. We can double check. All right, and I should, yep, be able to get it off the end there. All right, let's go away. Do-do. Oh, you know what? Because it had been so long, I thought, you know what? I'm going to come on early just in case. And it's like I came on like 20 minutes early, and it was just as well, because I had so much trouble getting the audio working again, and having to remember what I did the last time, because things have switched around and they changed, you know, in the couple of weeks that you haven't done anything, they go and change the app on you, and it's like, where? All right, let's get this heat set. Lovely. I'm drying it because I always go, oh, I wonder if it's dry, and I stick my finger in it and I put fingerprints on it. So close your eyes, country band time. But I still need to use this little guy for these. All right, trim you and trim you. I need to have a big cleaning day where I clean my blocks and I clean my trimmers and all that stuff. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to get it. I don't think I'm straight. Yeah, straight enough. And I'm just going to do this in a plain old rectangle. There we go. It's quite thicker than I normally, I would like, the Friend would have been a good one, but I'll put that thank you there. It's a little bit thick. I like a nice thin sentiment, but that's okay. Okay, white splatter. Let's go with this. And it's going to splatter over my pear. Just warning. Quite like my pear, but I do think some white splatters would still be looking pretty good. Okay, so I've squeezed my ink pad again. Get my daggy white one out. Now I need to make this quite watery. So that water that you see squishing down is actually not coming through that little barrel-y part there. It's actually coming from where it screws on because it is blocked. All right, get things out the way. And just subtle. Actually, that looks pretty cool on the that looks pretty cool on the pear. Oops. So it's just really, really subtle. Okay, let me just clean up this, and I do need to heat set that because we know that white ink takes forever to dry. And to wipe down my mat. Because I get it everywhere, and I'm probably not surprised if it's all over my iPad screen. All right, let's just give this a quick little heat set. Excuse the noise. I think I might need to get my tweezers. Okay, I think that has it. What I'm going to do is, have I got some scrap? I don't want to, I normally I would use these, but they've got a bit of colour on them and they're a little bit wet, so I don't want to use them. But normally I will just get, I don't think I've got a little bit of scrap. A little bit of scrap card, just lay it over the top, give it a rub, and that'll pick up anything that is still wet. And I think it was pretty good without smudging. Now it is super, super faint because we've gone on such a light card, but anyway, that's okay. We know it's there, right? Okay, let's get this together, and I am going to miss the embellishments. But you know what? I've got to stick to the challenge. So if you're looking for a get back to crafting challenge, if you've not crafted for some time, I am over in my Facebook group. I have got a 31-day daily prompt. Day one was to make a card with no sentiment on the front. Oh, that was so hard. And day two yesterday was to use a color combination that you haven't done for such a long time, or to even pick out a color that you haven't used for a while and give that a go. Oh, did I cut this straight? And then today is just using stamps, ink, and paper. No embellishments, no dies, no anything else. So it doesn't say anything about layering, so I'm taking advantage of that. And oh, you know what, I should use up my edges. I've got all of these and I should use them up. Oh, that was a bit silly. Hang on there. Okay. So these ones all come from those, you know, the kits that we get. These are all like little extras that get left over. They are slightly bigger, like wider in height than our regular ones, but I keep forgetting to use them up. I've got a whole pile of them sitting there, so let's go gung-ho. And yes, I am using lots. So let's get them all done. And then we're nearly done. So I do hope that you have a play with this. And don't be put off by pears. Like if you think, oh, you know, pears, I'm not really interested in pears. I'm going to put this more towards the right-hand side, I think, rather than center it. And then this guy can go up here. Yeah, so because I'm in, you know, you guys know me, I'm always playing with florals and stuff, but fruit is, especially when you get a nice fruit set, it can be a great alternative, I think. All right, so we'll pop you just about there, I reckon. And that's my card done. I don't know whether it needs to have bling because we've got other bits going on. I don't know whether that would detract or not, but there we go. There is our SIP card with a little bit of a technique thrown in there, just, you know, because I need to come in. Wait a minute, I've spotted stuff. I need to come in. This didn't come right up to the base there. There we go. Now I'm ready. Don't mind me, I do stuff like that all the time. So there we go. Now I'm going to have to stand up again so I can see. So thank you very much, Renee. Oops, now I'm pressing buttons. I shouldn't be pressing up here. I'm going to get into such a... Oh, I was going to show you my bit from the other night. Wait a minute. I've just got it hiding under here. So the other night I used, this was from my team night, I used the Charming Day, and I did it on Petal Pink with Cajun Craze and Mossy Meadows. So definitely have a play with it. Some of the girls were using really dark cardstock, and that looks really nice as well because the white sort of brings, like, it doesn't completely cover the card. So if you did like Blackberry Bliss, which is what Anne had done, it still showed the Blackberry Bliss through, and then you could just add a little bit more Blackberry Bliss ink to it. But so that was really pretty as well. So there you have it. So make sure you are on my newsletter, so you can head over to alisatilsner.com and sign up. You get my color coach, and this will go out in next week's newsletter so that you'll have all the everything that I've used, all the colors that I've used, the measurements, all that sort of thing, so that you can go back and recreate it as well. Okay, so I will just quickly bring back to me. So we will see you again next week, now that we are all going smoothly again. And who knows? Oh, the Perfectly Pears is also going to be for my August, what do I do? What's that membership thing? My PDF membership, my Creative Card Makers Club. So that this is going to be the theme for it as well. So you can sort of think of this one as a little bonus one. But thanks very much for joining me, and